in for another, I guess, episode, maybe? I don't know, of the Shine program. It is the structured, hands on, industry based experience program to help build more of a structured training type for window tinting so that we can essentially help shops and help window tinters who want to expand their business to be able to train people with a little bit more of a structured approach, and through that structure build a little bit more of a certification process in the long run so that you can so that someone who is already approved under the Shine program can go in and also approve other people, and we can keep this network of people together about like who was approved by who, and hold a lot more accountability to this than just handing out certifications and just giving them out, and keep something from being, how do we put it, brand based. What's up, Tim? Good to see you on here, brother. Thanks for jumping on, man. So what we're doing here is we're essentially trying to build out a structured training program that's not exactly as much of how to train someone, but some lists and some sections of skills that can help bring structure to the training process, if that makes sense. Like, so start them off with like some basic skills about shop care, shop etiquette, that kind of stuff, and then moving forward from there. And exactly like when it comes to tent, like not that you have to teach them exact like that we're trying to say exactly how to train someone, like say to bottom load a window, but the fact that they need to know how to bottom load a window at this point, right? So that's the kind of structure that we're trying to put into it. What's up, Alex? Good to see you on, brother. So that's pretty much what this is. This show is, we're building it here together. So I got the chats on because if anybody wants any input into this process, you're more than welcome to have some input into it. We'll bring up the document we've been working on over here in just a minute. And you're also more than welcome to jump on. So what I also like to do is let's make sure we put this in the chat. I know it doesn't show up sometimes unless I kind of go cheat my way in through Facebook to do it instead of going through the Restream chat. So see. There we go. So in the Facebook chat, at least, it is a clickable link you can click on and go to in the chat, hopefully. So you're more welcome to jump on. I totally understand if you don't want to jump on. I get it. You know, not everyone's ready to go, and, you know, it's all fine, man. So let me get this logo out of the way up here. This Tent Fan Magazine logo is all up in the way. So I need to find one that puts it over here. There's another one, an overlay that like this. That'd be cool. Puts it over here some. That'd be neat. Need to make one of those. Oh, look at that. We got someone in here with us. Let's bring them on.
What's up, Billy?
What's up, Alex? How you doing, brother?
Not too bad. It's 2 for 2. I just helped with the WFR giveaway.
That's right. I caught a little bit of that, man. I was on and back off, but
yeah, I wasn't even planning on going on. I just saw the Restream link and I was like kind of bored. I was like, yeah, you know what? Let's do it. How's it going, man?
Good, dude. How you been?
Not too bad. Just got done cooking some dinner, watching my kiddo play with the dogs. She just thinks they're the funniest things in the world.
Oh yeah, yeah, unpredictable little things.
We're talking about training.
Yeah, so this is what I've grown to call the Shine program.
Mm-hmm.
So it all started out of a way to try to build like a structured way to help shops grow and train someone to tent without giving them specifics of it, but more of like an overall outline, so that the trainer at the shop can be training someone new and say, okay, this trainer has, you know, that they can kind of essentially check off and say, hey, they've developed these skills. Now it's time to teach them these skills, you know, this skill set. And now they got a hang of those. Now it's time to teach them these skills. So,
yeah, you know, and that's kind of like how I was brought along. You know, when I started, I worked under Rick McIntyre back when we were both still at the tent shop, before Sun Distributing went kind of full blown. And the way it kind of started was I was just wiping his end product. I'd go around with sprayway and wipe
Yep.
down windows, and from there, if I could keep up and stuff, and all my other chores were done, I would help prep windows, and then he would let me know if they weren't good enough, or he would like grab a tool from my hand and just kind of like show me, no, like this is how you do it. And so we kind of built a routine, and as it got quicker and we started getting more cars in at once, I went on to laying quarters, and I just laid quarters for like the
Yeah.
longest time. And I remember that was the funniest thing because I didn't realize how many tenders downfalls was quarters until I went to WFTC in Indianapolis, and that quarter destroyed like
Hey,
so
on
many
teams it
people.
separated people too, man. On
And
teams
like,
it separated a lot of people out.
and here I was like, I probably laid like 3 total doors at this point in my life, and I'm like, dude, I could knock those quarters out like no problem, because like
Right.
that's all I knew. And then from there, like, I would lay all the quarters, and eventually I got faster, and I would lay all the quarters plus a door, and then next thing you know, it's plus 2 doors, and then next thing you know, it's all the doors, and I'm just letting him handle the back windshield and the front windshield.
Shoot, yeah.
And it was kind of hard to break out of like, it was kind of hard to beat him to a windshield. So at that point, I'm kind of already like picking up my own side jobs, or I want my own window tinted, or friends are like, oh, you work at a tint shop, so you can do mine. And then that's where my back glass practice kind of came in. But yeah, I totally agree. Like there has to be a routine, and I think the way Rick McIntyre like uh used to do it was he would grab like a 20 by 100 box of film, and then just like have them tint the same door over and over and over for like 8 hours straight.
Yeah, it helps a lot to have like several of the window already cut, so you can really
Yeah.
get that laying down aspect done. So
Yeah.
awesome, man. Yeah, I like that structure to it all, and I'm trying to. A big reason why I started this was to give that structure to help tent shops grow, and to help bring in and start giving more of a structured long term certification, like more of an accreditation than like a certification, if
Mm-hmm.
that makes sense. And we're breaking it up at first into kind of treating it like we've got a high school teacher down here in Denver that I've connected with
Oh
who's teaching
yeah.
window tint in his class. And we're trying to give him a simple format for it first to get him something that he can start teaching the kids for. So,
That yeah. And I remember that. How's that going?
I mean, it's been all right. I've been super busy lately, man. So it's been hard to get down there. I haven't even done these lives in a while because I moved. I went on a freaking week long trip, did a training, and then went on another week long vacation. First one was work trip, then long vacation, and then I moved into a new house, and then I went on like a almost 4 week trip for vacation, and then eventually the WFR event, and then like the trip back home with my family
Yeah.
driving an RV across country. It was so much fun, man. But I've had a lot going on. And I'm finally like, it's time to get back at this. So
So is Colorado mainly where you're out of?
yeah, that's where I operate out of, but
Oh,
I
okay.
go all
So
over the
are you
place for
like close
stuff.
to Brody?
Not too close. I'm probably about an hour north of Brody. He's
Oh,
down at
okay.
his shop, at least down like the Arvada area.
Okay.
And I'm up in Fort Collins.
Gotcha.
I like this. This is a good question that Jay asked about like fly out people to train the trainer, maybe. Maybe so what I hope to do, like if you're talking like big picture for what I see for the Shine program, there's like essentially like a database of people who will be, I guess, accredited first, like people that we've seen, especially like people you've seen compete, they constantly place. If they want to, be accredited, we can go that route. Some people who pretty much someone has to show, once we got like the list of skills, that they can perform all these skills, right? You can perform all these skills, then we can accredit you and you can start training. So that when you when someone becomes a trainer under the Shine program, then now they go and they train other people, and those people are registered as part of the Shine program. So we've got like an online database that we keep this all in, right? So
Yeah.
we keep track of all this essentially. So let's say if you were part of it, Alex, let's say you're training someone, right? Well,
Yeah.
when you want to sign that person off, then we know that it's Alex that signed this person off, right?
Yeah.
As hey, I say as Alex saying like I Alex say this guy can perform all these skills. Maybe this person may not be like fantastic and great. I mean, they just started, right? At all these
Right.
skills, but this person can perform all these skills, right? So
Yeah.
I'm gonna credit them and say I'm gonna sign off on it on as part of the Shine program. I'm gonna sign off to officially put my stamp on it. So that's kind of what I see in the long run. And then that way, even the person that you trained, right? Let's say you train someone. Let's say their name is
Mhm.
just John. Um, when if John ever gets good enough, a couple years down the road, and he wants to train someone, then he can sign off on someone. So we've got like this list of like who signed off on who. Helps keep a lot of accountability to it. So like you're putting your name and your reputation on the line by saying, "Hey, this guy can do these skills," right?
Yeah.
So then, at some point, if we have someone that is accredited who obviously can't perform the skills, right?
Yeah.
Say that happens because it's going to happen eventually. Someone's just going to sign off on someone, right? We know who signed off on that person, so now we have accountability. So we can go back and we can look at that person and who else they've accredited, who else they've said signed off on. Go check those people out. Hey, is everyone okay? Was this a fluke? Or are there like 3 or 4 other people that this person has signed off that aren't aren't performing the same task? So okay, so now we can remove his accreditation. All these people are invalid. We got to go back and reaccredit or something like that. So like
Oh.
I
Oh.
really just want some like a database, a central accountability
Is
to what's
this
going on.
is this an accreditation for the trainer like that goes there to like volunteer for the Shrine program? Or are you talking about like the trainer signing off for the students saying that they're accredited?
So it's essentially the trainer signing off for the students. So because
Oh, okay.
it could be used in a class setting, but this is a bigger picture that's
Yeah.
not really designed for like a 3 to 5 day course, right?
Yeah, it kind of
This is
feels
more
like
just
like the Big Brother program. Kind of feels like that, but tinning. Like
right.
in my
Like
head.
this is more of like an apprenticeship type program. If that makes sense. Like
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
so let's say Alex, you work at a shop, right?
Yeah.
And the shop is getting busy, so you want to hire another window tinter on, right? So you bring them on as an apprentice under the Shine program, and now they're signed up. They get as by being a part of the Shine program. When you sign someone up as an apprentice, you can basically go on the let's say like an app or something and create their account so that they're part of your business now, right? And they get access to the resources as part of the Shine program. So like there's videos, there's referrals, stuff to look back to. Kind of like I've already talked with Greg Sloan about being a part of it with his new How to Be a Film Star book. So
Yes.
that there are resources that these apprentices have access to through the shop that they're an apprentice for, right? So now that they're part of that, it gives them all these resources to come back to, and as they grow and learn, the person can sign off on this person, right?
Right.
To kind of say, hey, like I agree with it. I agree that they've done it. So
That's cool. And like you got to think too, like big picture, like a lot of kids at that age are probably kind of like, they pick this up as maybe their first job, but like in their mind, they still want to go to school somewhere. People travel out. And so it'd be
yeah,
kind of cool, like if you have multiple shops that honor the Shrine program and the accreditations, like nationwide. So, like, say if my kid grows up out of high school, got accredited through the Shrine program, she knows how to tackle on window tinting, but she wants to go to school, like say like California or something. She can go and then walk up to a tin shop and be like, "Hey, these are my accreditations. Like, can I like work here while I go to school here?"
and here's who signed off on me. Here's their
Yeah, that's
history.
kind of slick.
You can keep like a little bit of a stats kind of deal. If you like, and then you can even maybe work in like people who compete. If they want to go on there and have like stats together. I don't know. That's more
Yeah.
fun stuff for tent fam. For the trading card stuff, I think stats will be. But yeah. So a lot of this started from being like I wanted to organize it enough to give to Jesus, Mr. Bahanda at the school, so that he could have like an outline that he can create a syllabus out of to follow along with to get so that because the big thing is he wants to be able to give these students another avenue when they graduate school to go into a career, right?
Yeah.
Because not very many of these kids at this school go to college, right? So they
Right.
go and join the workforce. So let's give them something that can make them good money, right out of school. Like even if they move away or go or move around, like it gives them a good career right out of school. So,
Yeah.
oh yeah, Jay called me out here. I think did
Mhm.
I send you your proof, Jay? I know I've made a few of them. I've sent proofs off to people. Um, and I don't know if I sent you a proof or not. I might not have finished yours, Jay. I might have started it, but I don't know if I proofed it or if I sent you a proof or not.
Oh, we got Mr. Billy Ayton in the house. How's it going, man?
I think Billy's the reason they created the silly bus.
uh,
Charlie's in here. What's up, brother? Good to have you on, man.
well, hey, man, I'm gonna hop off on here. Maybe give someone else an opportunity to chime in and
Right on.
have
Nice.
a little
Yeah, I'm
live
about
time,
to
man. It was
pull
good
up our,
talking
our
to
sheet
you.
here and get it going. So yeah, I
Yeah.
appreciate you jumping on, Alex. Appreciate you,
Yes,
man.
sir. Later.
Yep. Have a good night, brother. All right, let's look over at this sheet. What do I got to do? I got to share screen. I want to share a window. Let's share this. Yeah, I like that, Dustin. And it just, I mean, and you've seen it, man. Like you've trained people and you've seen them grow and get better and better. And that's something people never forget. I'll never forget the guy who trained me, man. Like you never forget who initially taught you. And it's nice to stay connected. Oh, Angelo, yeah. This is the I want to show you my belly down here, but the Mike Powell Day to Night Technologies shirt. But good question, Charlie. So I don't know if you've watched the Shine program before, and kind of what we do as part of the Shine program. But Shine stands for Structured Hands-On Industry-Based Experience, and it's all about creating a structured way to train window tint that's a little bit more standardized to help businesses grow. When you're ready to hire that window tinter and grow from there, really wants to build like a apprenticeship type model and give like an outline to the apprenticeship so that we have some structure behind it to add some credibility, that kind of stuff, man. So that essentially we can have a little bit more of an apprenticeship model like similar to other trades and some things to go through for not like a not a certification as much as like an accreditation, right? To where like people trainers can sign off on people, that kind of deal, man. Like so I'm really looking to help build that. We really want to build it for Mr. Bahanda, Jesus Bahanda, down at the Jefferson Junior Senior High School, and I think it's Edgewater. He's teaching window tint at his school, at his high school, to high school kids. I think juniors and seniors mostly. And he wanted some structure to it. So I was like, all right, cool, man. Let's see what we can put together. And I figured we make a whole because it kind of fit along with the accreditation that I was hoping to make. If we first start off and build a little class out of it, we can put it a test there and grow from that and build the accreditation from there. So I'm going to bring over what we've been working on before. Is it going to show it? Do y'all see it? I don't see it. Oh, there it goes. Jeez, man. I was like, why won't it show what's going on here? All right. So a little bit of what we've built so far. I added something right before we got on under the legality section about glass types, because then when you get into there, you really start looking at federal vehicle safety standards about why glass is what it is. Sorry, my papers aren't stacked over here right, and it's bothering me. So I wanted to add that in, to kind of make sure, because I mean there are window tinters who don't know this, who don't know about glass types. I want to say it might have been Billy Ayton who talked about it in a group one time and started talking about it, and forced a lot of us started looking into it. And from looking up what the different glass types are, like when a customer asks you about lines and what everything, why is this one tinted, why is that one not tinted, like you can explain, hey, well look right here, see this is AS2 glass, this is AS3 glass, like, so it's a neat thing to kind of show when people ask you a question and you've got an answer for them, so. Okay, thanks, Tim. It's better now. Yeah, it looks like when I first saw it, it wasn't even there. It just a blank screen on my side. So, oh well. So let's see. We looked at shop standards. This is like some random stuff that I just want to make sure we didn't forget. We got a little bit going on here. We got some prep. We started looking at the actual uh, process side of it. Looks like a lot of tonight's gonna be going back looking over what we've done so far and where we should put some effort into. All right, yeah, some tool list stuff. Okay, yeah, this looks like some initial stuff that we started at, and it looks like up here. Yeah, here I tried to make a little bit of just like a general overview, right? So then what we can do from here is we can start breaking down into, well, like for dry shrinking, what do we need to do here? What are some techniques, different types of dry shrinking? I guess you got pocket shrink, all that kind of cool stuff. So thanks, Charlie. I appreciate that, man. A lot of this was built with the community. Like, this isn't just me building this, and this is why I wanted to create this live, because a lot of people, and I'm sorry I haven't been like putting names along with this, so to see who's been sewing into it, but a lot of people have been sewing into this too. This isn't just me, like, so I don't want to take credit for all this. I'm just taking a lot that people are giving and organizing a lot of it, and we're just going from there with it. So I like where you're going with this, Jay, and I think it needs a little bit more. How do I put it? Build on this, man, because I like where you're going. Like, tell me a little bit more about what you mean with this. Oh, Jay's getting official, dude. Like, make a page of your citations. Yeah, we're gonna make it like the Encyclopedia Britannica, man. Yeah, so I just want to build, just give something good off of it, man, to go with. So let's see, where is there anything that, how do I put it, that you guys want to sew into? Does that make sense? Like, oh, so I'm glad you brought that up, Charlie. So the reason why prep has its own section, right, is because that's a lot of what you're teaching before you do film handling. I see a lot of shops over the years. I'm going to hire this guy. I'm going to train him, and they dive into film handling way too soon, and they end up, a lot because of their, how do we put it? Because of their mindset. They start a lot with, I'm training my competition, and a lot of that's the mindset of the person doing the training and then the business owner. That could change, but why bring someone in and start teaching them the most important and hardest part of the job right off the bat, right? So that's why prep has its own section, because first I'm thinking shop etiquette, man. Like, I'm not even gonna teach you how to prep. First, you're gonna have to keep up with the floor. You're gonna have to pick up the tent. You're gonna have to check for blades in the floor, help us clean, help us wipe up the car when we're done. And then eventually you can start learning, okay, well, here's how to clean a window. Here's how to pull a seal out, like eventually once you prove that you're serious and you really want to grow, and you're going to show up on time, you mesh with people well, you work with the other people on the team well, then, okay, now that we feel like you're going to hang around more, now let's start teaching you from shop care, shop upkeep, shop etiquette. Now let's start working on the actual vehicle, right? Not film yet, but let's work on the vehicle some. And go from there. And then once you still like, okay, cool, you're growing, you're catching the hang of it, you're showing that you really care, you're growing, you're moving. All right, well, cool. Now let's start working into some film stuff, right? In a laying film, like we'll cut it on a plotter or we'll hand cut it for you. We'll start laying it some, right? Get your hang of that some, and then we'll start working on more of those. So Yeah, Dustin, this is what I mean for the most part, man. Like, are you going to show up on time? Because look, in the first, what is it like? Uh, a couple of things I've seen with my role at my last job, where we had a team of tenders across the state, right? 8 different locations. Was one, people are really good at first. They come out hot to trot, right? They come out ready to rock and roll, ready to show what they're worth, ready to show their value. 2 weeks goes After 2 weeks goes by, you start to see problems, that they're trying to hide, but they're falling back onto old habits, right? And you can address those habits. I'm not saying that, okay, now they fall into those habits, they're gone, right? You can address those habits, see if they start moving forward, right? Even experienced window tenders. Like, I brought in plenty of experienced window tenders who didn't do very good for a couple weeks. And by not doing very good, I mean like they had to redo windows a lot before they left. Sometimes they would have more comebacks in those first 2 weeks, or they'd have more like redos while the vehicle's in there for those first 2 weeks, because it takes time for people to get a hang of things. So, um, yeah. I see, Tim. I see where you're going with this. He says, "Did we have a section that talks about what you can make if you go on commission window tinting?" Um, we haven't talked much about like the pay side of it yet. Uh, I feel like that's not part of the class first, if that makes sense. I guess it could be talked about some, but and correct me. I'd love to hear your guys' opinion too. Like don't just go off my opinion. I'd love to hear your opinion as well. But with when it comes to pay is so different all over the place, right? Um, and how do I put it? Especially the initial pay is all based on effort. So I mean, I guess you could, but it's hard to standardize pay, if that makes sense, in any business, really. So, right, get the increditable cash in on it, right? I like where Billy Aiton's going, but I'm not fucking with unions, bro. Y'all can do that. Anyone else can do that. I'm not going into that side of things, man. Like, that's not my thing, man. Yeah, and this is part of it too, because I mean, part of this is initially going to be a high school class, right? I don't want to tell someone at a high school they can make $80,000 doing window tint. They should be getting paid 30% commission. You know, we can help look at different ways to get paid, look at more creative ways, and help them learn to ask for more creative ways, right? Because imagine this, like, one of my favorite ways to pay a window tinter, because so many places they go, is just straight flat commission, right? I loved getting paid this way when I was commissioned at the early part of my last role, right? Is you get a base against the commission, right? So you're going to get a base pay for showing up, and when your commission for the month reaches over how much you've been paid for the month, then you get a commission check at the end of the month, right? So when we got those crazy busy months, you're gonna get a consistent paycheck throughout the month, and then when the month is over, boom, here's the rest of your commission for the month, and you get a big paycheck, man. You can celebrate the month like that, and you get a lot of consistency and stability in your life when you've got a consistent paycheck going across with those commissions. So essentially, like it's kind of a salary plus bonuses, but it's really a commission. You're still getting paid, let's say 30% commission, right? You're still getting paid 30% gross of every job, but you're getting paid, I don't know, $20 an hour, right? Throughout the month, you're getting paid $20 an hour. I'm not going to do the math. Let's say you get paid $2,500. I don't know what the math is, right? I'm not doing it. You've worked X amount of hours to get paid to be owed $2,500 for your hourly pay for the month. Let's say your 30% commission was $3,000. Well, at the end of the month, after you've got all your other paychecks, at the end of the month, you also get a check for $500, like minus taxes, all that kind of stuff, right? So, yeah, it's yeah, Tim, get Charlie a raise so you can buy more hats. It's a base against commission, right? It could be a salary against commission, hourly against commission, but it's a base against the commission, right? The base borrows from the commission, and at the end of every month, you get paid your commission check minus what you've been paid in the base pay. So, um, So yeah. So I would be okay with, I guess, teaching creative ways to ask to get paid, but not exactly the exact numbers because they're so. I mean, don't get me started on price, man. Everybody sees people want to charge $800, $900 for a top level ceramic install. Well, when you're in the city, everything costs more expensive. When you're in the country, man, like nothing costs that much. You can make good money selling that same job for 550 or $600. You can make good money like that, man. So, whatever. Yeah, exactly, Jay. I mean, that's what I'm talking about, man. Getting a salary plus bonus, man, is nice, man. If you meet goals, if you meet certain amounts, like there are either commissions built in or there are bonuses built in based on how much gross you've done. You get bonuses at certain points. You incentivize the workforce, man, like to make good money. But all right, so yeah, I don't know if we're gonna get a whole lot done on this today because I'm kind of recapping, so that I can come back in standard weekly again, and we can gain some more momentum on this. So let's see. I went through a lot of the standards, a lot. Little things about like vehicle care etiquette, I guess, was a lot of it, man. Like teaching kids what all this means, terminology, and we can break this down. I want to get this overview because we can break down what these all mean later on, right? Like different types of UV, what infrared rejection is, what TSER is, how to calculate all that kind of stuff. Dive into this, and a lot of this too was to kind of talk about standards that and these standards really need to be expected of everyone in the shop, or if you have your own standards, you need to expect those standards. Same of the apprentices do of yourself, right? Like you gotta lead by example a lot. It is a lot of it. So we kind of went through with that, about cleaning the floor, when the proper time to clean the floor it is, especially sweeping. I got chewed out one time in a good way, but I beat the guy training me. I beat him to work one day, and I came in and I'm just sweeping up. I'm like, I came from stereo shop, dude. Like I'm sweeping up. All right, cool, man. This place is dirty. Let's sweep it up so we can get going. He comes in. He's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you doing, man? You can't sweep. I was like, what do you mean I can't sweep, dude? This floor is dirty, man. He's like, no, we can't sweep the floor right now, man. He's like, look at this. And he like opened the door more so the sun came in. And of course you can see that, it's in the in Georgia, man. Like saw like shiny freaking clay, man, like in the air, dude. You can just see it. And I'm just like, oh crap. I didn't know that, little things like that. So, yeah, in the morning, if he wants to clean up, he'll spray the floor off. And I'm like, that makes so much more sense, man. So, see, mop at the beginning of the day if you want to, or sweep at the end of the day when you're done before you go home is the best time to do it. Like, little things. Don't leave film scraps laying around, especially not liners, which isn't a big deal when you work by yourself. If some of you like don't worry about it much. If you work by yourself, film scraps aren't a big deal. But when you've got 4 or 5 people in a shop, you got to pick film scraps up, man. They're dangerous, especially liners when people aren't looking for them. Is there a section for final vehicle check or a vehicle check in? Yes, I think that is once we get down into prep. Let's check this out. So I don't know if there's a check in here, but we at least went through prep about we wanted to kind of take it far. Vehicle comes in the shop. Here's what to do with the vehicle. Turn the keys on, turn the HVAC system off, radio off, auto headlights off, all that kind of stuff, man. Like even like when you're prepping, like and rainy and snowy days, when to roll the windows down, prepare seals, taping, all that kind of stuff. So let me see a process overview. No, it was included. It's included in like overall notes down here for inspection and cleaning. Because you essentially got before you pull in when the job's done right here. So that is a great question. Let's see. Yeah, I like what Cam said. I've done this before, man. When he's referring to every time you step, you're stirring dust. So I've done this before. It can get the customer's car dirty inside, so you got to be ready to like wipe things up after yourself. Either put things down in the car sometimes, or wipe up after yourself. Whichever, either way is for most cars. If you're like your everyday cars, is completely fine. Thanks for saying this, Billy. I agree with you, man. Um, if a car comes in clean, it needs to leave clean, in my opinion. Even if that means you need to invest in some detail spray and some extra rags, some special rags just for cleanup down the side, that kind of stuff. So I like to make sure you had a section for how to deal with bad customers. It depends. If you haven't tinted their car yet and they're a bad customer, kick them out the door. Let's see what's this says. It says maybe just like a final check. I've left so many tools in people's cars or forgot tape somewhere. Right, and this is a twofold system, I guess. Right, because two things you're talking about: uh, standardization about where tools go. Right, it would be a help. It wouldn't. You're not going to guarantee it that you don't leave a tool in someone's car, but it helps. Um, and standardization of what to do when you put things down. Right, like where are okay places to put tape down. Right, and when you catch an apprentice setting a roll of tape into the seat and not on a table on the side, like maybe tape only goes on tables on the side, right? Don't ever lay a roll of tape down on a car, especially not in the car. Don't ever lay tape down like that. You either put it back in your tool pouch, so you can set some standards like that. So I like where you're going with that. So we kind of pulled a little bit of that into prep. Did we say anything about inspection? I don't know about y'all, but I think this little light music in the background is pretty cool, man. So much better than silence. So no, we don't have like an inspection. We have a vehicle care, right? Like standards to think about when you pull like in where the keys go, right? Because again, I know there are so many people who work by themselves, and you don't need the same kind of organization when you're working by yourself as when you're working with 2 to 3 people. Two to three people, you can still get away with a lot, but when you get past 3 people, like you have to be super organized. Like you people have to be able to communicate without talking to each other. Like that's the way I put it, right? And places to put keys, that kind of stuff. Like standardization of processes is a lot of where it goes. Yeah, I like a lot of the standardization, man, about like cover areas that can't get wet. If you got some fabrics that kind of stuff can't get wet, like go ahead and cover them, man. Like this is something big, that you got to teach people early on. Nothing gets placed on paint. Little things like this, like if you crank it up out in the lot and it's slow to turn over, well, as soon as you pull it in, you have a charger you hook it up to. This one is a thing with Thomas's tool made possible a lot. Really, I mean by his made really popular his hangers. Like um, there's no point in unplugging a bunch of stuff in a door panel if you can use a hanger to hang it there, right? Just one less thing that can go wrong. I mean, I disagree with you here. Not wiping paint no matter what, man. If it depends, right? I can see where you're going with this, but if a customer's car comes in clean, I think it should go out clean, man. And if you've got if it comes in like dirty with dirt all over, I get it, right? But you wipe off the windows, you wipe off like around the top of the window, something like that. But and you let your customer know, um, it looked like I normally would like to clean cars when we're done, but there's so much dirt on here, I don't want to cause any damage to your paint by cleaning it in a way that you don't normally do. Uh, so I like that. Yeah, if you're at least rinsing it off, at least rinsing some of especially if you're like shrinking, wet shrinking your roll ups on the outside or something like that, or if you're peeling off your back window or peeling off the windshield. to install, then I can definitely see that, because you're going to get soap all over that thing, right? And if you don't wash it off, the soap's going to sit there. So it could be a liability, So at least rinsing it off, I like that at least. But let's see. Before I lose my freaking thing, man, let's prep. All right, here we go. Here's where we're going to do it. All for Charlie for bringing it up. Brain fart. Inspection. Yeah. All right, Charlie, you got to give input on this now too, man. So I guess initially we're talking inspection, like a customer drop off inspection, right? Like, let me get out of here with that stuff. I mean, I guess technically you could try an inspection to quote it if you want to be thorough, like. Yeah, I like that, Charlie. I make notes of everything: damage, condition of car upon arrival. And if you're talking, there are two ways this can go, right? Inspection. You could go the route of, and you can do a mix, but the route of old school, where you got a piece of paper, you're writing stuff, you're looking at, writing stuff down on, right? You're going to eventually miss something, because in a couple of companies I've worked for, we've had a vehicle check-in sheet where you mark down a lot of the damage, and then you have the customer sign off on it, right? All right, cool. This is what I found. Just sign here, just saying that you're agreeing essentially that the vehicle is in this condition. These problems are already here. Another thing to do, if you're talking like modernizing, is a GoPro or a camera, like a phone camera, or maybe like a check-in iPad, especially if you use TintWiz. You can put the pictures in there, right? And you open a door, take a picture of it, right? Close it, open a door, take a picture of it. And then you're not really having to inspect it. You have something to fall back on, because it's not super often you get blamed for damage, but it does happen at some point, right? It's almost like guaranteed to happen at some point. But imagine how many customers you go through before you get blamed, right? So yeah, I like this too. This is a big one. The inoperable switches, like things got to get checked before they come in too. Like, we did good at my last role about like checking blinkers, check windshield wipers, check the headlights, check the horn, check the hazard, because they take a lot of stuff apart too, because they do a lot of stereo work there too. So check the hazards, lock the doors, unlock the doors. Are all the doors locking and unlocking, right? Do one of them have a bad like lock actuator? Just roll the window down a little bit, roll it back up. Like, does it go down? Does it go up? Little things like that, and they can sign off on that. So let's see. I guess let's change this, because it's going to be like this. What if we called this? There. Paper. Oh, man. And the next one is digital, maybe. $100%, brother. This kind of stuff says, man, my shop cameras and notes upon arrival have saved my ass. Yeah, 100%, dude. It's a guarantee at some point they're going to save you money, period. Like, that's just the way it goes, man. If you have one of those in your shop, they see a dent in there, and you go through the whole video and nothing ever touches that car right there. And hey, look, man, see, I didn't cause that dent. Get out of here. So we've talked about this on here before, Cam, even too, man. Like, I've seen some people who have a waiver saying I'm not responsible if something behind your dash gets wet, right? And to do my side of it as a window tinter, I'm going to put soak rope in the bottom of the windshield. I'm going to put a dash towel on top of things. I'm going to take all these precautionary methods to keep things from getting wet. But I didn't build this car. I don't know what's going on behind here, behind the dash. Every car is different, so I'm not responsible if anything under here gets wet and becomes inoperable. Here's my process and my practices in place to minimize the chances of that the best I can. Sign here. More and more people are doing that. It just basically saying I'm not responsible if it gets wet. Because I take all these precautions. So if something gets wet in there, it comes down to like, look, you wanted me to tint your windshield, right? You asked me to do this. You came to me and said, and you agreed to pay me money to tint your windshield. You have some culpability in there too, right? Of the risk. Either that, or I'm charging you $1,200 for your windshield, and I'll pay for whichever computer gets messed up whenever it gets messed up, right? If I'm going to assume all of the risk, then I'm going to charge you more money, So what do you want to do? Like, do you want to pay less money or pay more money? Let's see. So, inspection. So, oh man, I feel like let's generalize this more. I don't want to dig into like and dive out of paper one versus digital, man. Like let's generalize more and how about this? How about methods, right? There we go. Paper and digital. There we go. I like this. There we go. Let's see. First, what we talked about was operation. Like, is everything working, right? Check. I mean, it could be a long list if we really want to get to this, man. Like, you sit down in the car, lock, unlock, window, operation. I mean, you could check. You could go far with this, right? Viper's horn, HVAC, radio. Yeah. I like this try. That's pretty much what I would do. Is I would jump in the driver's seat, and I basically all the switches that were there, just get to working the switches, man. Like, I had a generic like thing I'd go through. Like you're at the steering wheel, blinkers. All right, cool. Horn, beep. All right, headlights. There we go. And then reach over to the door. All right, windows up, down. All four switches down. All the windows going down. Yep. Now pull up on all four switches. All four windows going up. Yep. All right, now we're looking at locks. Hit that lock button. Did all doors lock? Yep. Hit unlock. Did all doors unlock? All right, cool. We're good. All that kind of stuff. So. Yep, and I think that's an awesome thing to do, Scott. That's part of what we're trying to outline a little bit here. What I liked to do was I'd hop in the car and look at some things, and the customer would be out to listen to me. Like, basically, the customer comes in, hey, I got my car here. I need to drop my car off, get the window tint. All right, cool. Get your keys. All right, cool. Let's go out and check the vehicle clean real quick. And we had a clipboard with us. You could do that with clipboard. We got like different methods with either paper or digital. Whether you got a clipboard or an iPad or something, some kind of tablet. The tablet looks more professional than a phone, but you can use your phone, right? Is a thing too. So and I would hop into the vehicle, check. I'll tell the customer, hey, I'm gonna check out, make sure everything inside is working good first. And then when we're done, we'll look at damage on the vehicle, and mark down anything like door dings, big scratches, anything like that. We'll just go ahead and mark that kind of stuff down. The customers are always like, cool, man, awesome. And I would hop in the driver's seat. I'd go over some things, look at blinkers, horns, like we're talking about, this stuff right here. I'm like, all right, cool, everything's in there looking good. And then I do an inspection outside the vehicle with the customer, and kind of point to stuff, all that, so which could be done with video, right? You could take a video walk around the car if you'd like. I dropped my car off for oil change at a dealership one time, and they sent me a video that was them walking around. It was after I'd gone, but they were watching walk around the camera before they pulled the car in, walking around, pointing those things out. They're on, you see the finger come up and they're pointing at, just even if you don't say anything, you just walk up and you just point, walk around the car. You see a little problem, just point, all that kind of stuff. So, video makes it easy. Pictures work pretty well, but video is a really good way to do it too. So where are we at here? Right? Somewhat. There's some buttons that ain't worth hitting, but yeah, I feel you. Yep. Yeah, I like that, Scott. I agree, man. And I think Carlos Olazaba recently had a post where a Tesla customer blamed them for scratching something, and he went back and looked at the check-in pictures and found the scratch on the check-in pictures. And the customer was like, "Cool, man. Sorry about that, bro." And it's done. So, wait. So let's look at operation. What we mean by operation? We mean like features operation, maybe. And if we come up with another one, we'll just put it in here. But all right. So features operation. Now we're looking at visual inspection, right? Looking for door dings because you get blamed for those, right? Scratches, other dents. Visual inspection. This is exterior, right? Because you should be doing both with the customer, especially with how much work we do around the interior cars, how much razor blades we carry on us. Should definitely inspect door panels as well. People kick door panels coming out of the car, rings, crap. I mean, things can cause damage to it that if they didn't, like, as usual, sometimes it's not always a customer trying to get over on you. Sometimes they really didn't see it there. They didn't know it was there. And then after you worked on their car, they're looking at it more closely and they notice damage on the door panel. Like, sometimes it's literally just that. It's just, hey, I didn't see that before. I think you might have done that, right? Just because they don't want to assume that they didn't fucking see it, right? So yeah. Other dents. Let's see, door dings, scratches, other dents. That's about it on the car. That scuffs, right? What the? Heat transfers, right? Along bumpers. You gotta check corners of bumpers, under valences along the bottom of bumpers too. Wheel damage. Wheels, man. I mean, especially if they're aftermarket wheels. Check them, man. See if they've got any kind of road, any kind of curb rash, other damage, that kind of stuff on them. 100%. That's a lot of the exterior. What if we go into visual inspection? Interior. Let's see. What are we looking for inside the car? Each door panel, right? Talking scratches. I mean, you might get blamed for getting a panel dirty, right? Or even like how about this, like how dirty, right? Because you've all done it. You've all seen streaks on a panel and you're like, dude, this panel's gross. Like, yeah, there's streaks on it. Like, I'll wipe the top off, like the top section of the panel off just to make it look a little better. But I'm not wiping this whole door panel off, right? Let's see. What else? What else? Door panel scratches. How dirty? What else are you looking for on a door panel, right? Broken switches. Had to refill the beverage. Put the phone down. I got important shit to do. All right. So, yeah, on the door panel inspection, let's see. What are you looking for on a door panel? Missing pieces, right? Goes along with broken switches. Missing pieces. Is the piece behind the door handle already missing? Yeah. Things like that. Are there any exposed screws? Missing pieces / exposed areas? I don't know. This is a good one. Right. Busted speaker covers. Cracks, I guess is what we'll call that, like cracks in the panel. Uh Cracks goes in with like damaged plastic or scratches / scuffs maybe like um let's see, discoloration, right? Is the panel already faded? So with these, Cam, the best way to check if the speaker covers are dry rotted is go ahead and put the back of your hand up on there where your knuckles are and just rub your knuckles back and forth on it really hard first and just go ahead and get that out of the way, man. You know it's happened before. Swelling. Ooh, this goes into too, made me think about improper fitment, right? Because you're talking swelling of like leathers, swelling of organic materials, I guess is a good way to put it. With leather. You've also got, what did I say? What improper fitment? Especially if you're going to pull a seal out or pull a door panel off, right? Or does it look like it's already not fitting on there right? All right, wood trim, yeah, I like that. Leather / wood. Right, yeah, Cam, I've seen that too. Maybe we call it like panel separation, maybe. That can go into other pieces too. Like especially if someone's tinted it before. What if they've pulled on the top part of the panel and broken it back, right? And just but it kind of sits there, right? Like you should poke and prod the panel real quick, dude. Like maybe it's only 2 clips holding it in and no screws holding it in. And if you're not poking the panel really quick, maybe the panel falls off as soon as you pull the car in, But yeah, I think that panel separation. I know what you're talking about there, Cam. Right, and this might come to they didn't know, Cam. Like it can come in like they don't know, they didn't see it, they're just blind to it, right? But what you can just don't let it together and keep it under damage / wear. Yeah, and I really think luckily like a picture of the door panel shows a lot of this in one thing, right? Especially nowadays with cameras are so high quality. So let's see. You're talking door panels. Now what else? We don't get blamed much for it, but if you're really doing like an inspection, man, like you need to glance at the seats, I guess, dash. Dash cracks. What else wrong? What is wrong with the dash? Dirty for one. Yeah, I feel you, Charlie. Everyone's got a camera, man. Like nowadays, Everyone has a camera, and I really think that a picture can help. It helps to point things out. Like if you see something, you point it out to your customer, right? But I think you should also be taking a picture of the door panels. Um, what else? Yeah, Cam, I know you've probably put your fingers right through one of those dashes before. I know when I did stereos on those old Dodgers, you got to grab that dash above the cluster to pull on, and it just goes, and your fingers go right through it. And there's that split moment of like, do I got to buy a dash? And then you're like, bro, this is how it comes apart. It's not my fault your dash broke. Dash. I mean, dash, all I think is like cracks or if it's dirty, right? Man, since Cam mentioned about the headliner, we can put a headliner sagging or, I mean, damaged, obviously. Stained. We can go like this, but stained like this. Oh, shit. Wasn't it this? Stained like that. Borrow the old tinter comma to go back to the throwback there. Sorry. Seats, I mean, like stains, tears, rips. Yeah, I feel like this can go so deep, man. I like what Charlie mentioned about like you can just like sum a lot of it up, man. But I think it's important to at least go over some things that you can see, because you're thinking too, like someone looking into this is likely someone who doesn't have any shop experience, right? Oh, damn, sorry, 9 o'clock. Dog hair. Cam, I don't want to hear it, dude. If you can't get clean tint with dog hair in the car, man, just hang your belt up, bro. Come on. That needs to be a freaking a thing at one of the what is it? Competitions, man. We need to just be like blow glitter, just poof. All right, now you got to take this window clean, or how clean can you do it? Or dog hair, how clean can you do it, man? Cam, what's the trick for dog hair, Cam? Come on, dude. You gotta know the trick for dog hair, dude. I can see how many seats I've climbed into after doing this trick to not get dog hair in it, right? I don't want to hear it, Cam. There you go, brother. Hose the inside. I mean, don't literally hose it, but yeah, bud. I mean, you got to jump in the car. It's covered in hair. You just take your sprayer and just wet the seat, wet it all. It'll dry. Yeah, help hold that down, man. So, okay. Good. I was about to say you got to know that one, Cam. All right. Well, it is on the hour. We're at an hour and 3 minutes now, so I'm gonna cut out. So this will be back up next what is it, Thursday we'll be back up again for the Shine program. Make sure you're around Monday evening. We'll go into Tent Fam shenanigans. I guess is what that's gonna be coming is Tent Fam shenanigans. So well, I see where Billy's going about gloves and stuff, man, but then you're cleaning it up, dude. Like I'd rather just tint the car and move on. They bring me in a hairy car, they leave with a hairy car, right? So yeah, I appreciate you all jumping on. I appreciate you all, willing to give to this. Yeah, Charlie, I really like that you came on, man. Like, I was doing this for a while. I think I did it for about a month every week, and we got a lot of movement on it, right? So I'll be back up doing this again every week again. I'll miss weeks here and there. I can't be 100% consistent, man, but I'll miss some here and there. But the goal is to do every Thursday at 8 p.m. Mountain Time. I guess that's 10 p.m. Eastern Time. And we're just going to build. I mean, anyone's always welcome to come on. Welcome to have input. Welcome to come in and disagree with us, agree with us, whatever. Like bring it in. And I love to have conversations around this to make sure Quentin said he watched for 3 minutes. Well, thanks for the 3 minutes, bro. 3 minutes counts, man. Some of us have is 3 minutes. So we got to make it count, man. So, I appreciate you jumping on. Right, so look for this next week. This is the Shine program. It is the structured, hands-on, industry-based experience program, and we'll be building. We're going to build this first out to make a class out of it for a high school teacher, Jesus Bohanda, down in Edgewater, Colorado, I think it is. Uh, he's a high school teacher teaching tent to the kids, man, to give the kids another good career. He's got an auto shop, a few bays in it, uh, lifts, all that kind of good stuff. He just wants to also give them another option that's not quite so dirty. So he's got a lot of tent in there too, and we'll eventually go into PPF as well. So 100%, Charlie. I appreciate that, man. I'd appreciate that too, man. And any input she's got, would be super helpful. Um, and we're trying to build that first to give him a structure for that to teach the kids, so he's got something to go off of. And we've got lots of companies who help him out. We at Edge have given him a big discount on film. And Fusion has sent some tools out. Tenna is willing to send some tools out. People have sent out their own personal stuff, so it's awesome stuff, man. Like, people are working really hard to help Jesus out, man, and make sure he and his students have what they need. So with this, thank you. We'll see you next week. Remember, Tent Fam Shenanigans Monday at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, 9 p.m. Eastern. If you haven't been to Tent Fam Shenanigans yet, you'll want to come on. We're just goofing around, having a good time on Tent Fam Shenanigans. So, yeah, Charlie, Edge and Audubon for the win, baby. Edge, right, damn it, Edge right there. Yeah, we gave him a good discount on film, man. So they get to go through it. So I hope you all have a great night. Tent Fam, I love you. I love all you guys. And if any gals watched before or are going to watch it again, anyone, guys and gals in the Tent Fam, I love you. I appreciate you. And we'll see you later. Y'all have a great night.